It's reality. First ever parallel universe has finally been discovered. We think it would be sort of a rude awakening when we eventually discover that we're not the only ones in the universe. What would be the most mind-blowing fact could turn out to be the possibility that there's someone somewhere who looks exactly like you and me, but on a different plane. Today's video will dive deep into the signs that could be indicators of a parallel universe that's been right in front of us. It would seem like something out of a fiction movie, but it would shock you to find out that people are subconsciously holding out for some eventual discovery that could point out the existence of a parallel Earth to the one we live in. Watch this video through to the end to find out more on the subject of parallel universes. One of Stephen Hawking's famous quotes pretty much sums up how far above the ladder of knowledge we are about what we know about our universe. It is scientific knowledge that our universe is one but of possibly a million more universes out there. That might be a bit more relatable, but when the concept of a parallel universe comes into the mix, it gets a lot more complicated. Scientists whose minds are livid with curiosity have often asked questions about whether there could be another version of themselves in another universe. Basically, if one exists, you wouldn't know unless there's a bit of a clash between our realities. In other words, there could be someone somewhere exactly like you and with your DNA going through an event that is concurrent with what's going on with you at a particular time in your life. Also, you don't really have any control over them. Scary and shocking as it may seem, it isn't entirely impossible that there could be a copy of you or someone you love living a different life away in what is a copy of our universe. The idea of parallel universes is an interesting subject, and it very much questions everything we think is right about our universe. It has been deemed nothing short of fiction, but there might be some proof coming out to us about the possibility of alternative universes. A wealth of studies have discussed the possibility, and it wasn't until recent times that we saw scientists dive into the topic again. Scientists need more concrete evidence to back all the speculations before it can meet any acceptance from the general public. We go to Antarctica for what's been assumed to be a sign that a parallel universe exists, probably. The icy plains of Antarctica hold a discovery that may feel like it was cut out of a movie plot. NASA's observation is the first evidence that may be deemed to be substantial enough to point us in the direction of a parallel universe. The general characteristics that raise these suggestions are that it seems like a place where time moves backward, and the rules of physics that govern us basically don't exist. In spite of the knowledge that we've gathered, we are clear on the subject of how minute our Earth is in the universe. We are literally like a speck of dust in the cosmos. And what we know is much less than that. In fact, it can almost be said that we don't know everything about how our own world's environment works. It tends to shock us with new revelations as it desires at times. The cosmos is a bigger mystery. Sir Isaac Newton wasn't kidding when he stated, "What we know is a drop. What we don't know is an ocean." The first time the concept of parallel universes hit mainstream was way back in 1954, when a student at Princeton University known as Hugh Everett. His theory suggested that many universes could exist that are similar to ours, and in a way are related or branch into several others. As outrageous as it may seem, it tried to give plausible reasons why we could have parallel universes. We could think that the existence of alternate universes might have been backed by the growing body of knowledge in quantum physics. However, the theory posed a huge question mark. Why? Because it was not in accordance with the accepted laws of physics at the time. The acceptance of the theory was thus very low. One of the prime challenges was that it was hard to believe that a decision that probably had a negative effect here could happen in reverse on the other side of the universe. Hence, the consequence of an event may be different depending on the time juncture, and it could boil down to prime decisions that involve both life and death. How are parallel universes created? According to Everett, every time a change occurs in the universe, a new reality is created, much like a fracture in the timeline, leading to the creation of a different life. Thus, the incidence of a fatal car accident on one plane may not even happen in the parallel universe. There could be several other possibilities that could spin off an event with slight differences in outcomes. Also, it would be hard to measure the events as they happen simultaneously, and there can be no interaction between either side of the plane. A second thought aimed to explain not the idea of parallel universes, but strictly describes multiple universes that exist outside the reaches of our universe. We assume that the Big Bang Theory must have given birth to these other universes at the same time. The Big Bang is thought to have taken place over 14 billion years ago, and the universe for about 13.5 billion. Before all that, there must have been a bigger universe that was yet unsplit, and it held sway until the cosmic inflation. The process is simply deemed to be one that could be responsible for the black holes that can currently open up in our universe. There have been theories that suggest that the black holes could be portals that could lead to the Big Bang in another universe. But light and maybe time is working much differently. Hence, it's possible that a different version of you is living a different life on another Earth out there. The time flow is non-linear, and the laws of physics sure don't play out the same way. The geolocation of Antarctica has long been observed by the Antarctica Impulsive Transient Antenna, abbreviated as ANITA. The instrument observed the evidence of cosmic ray particles that cannot be explained by conventional physics. Researchers were left dumbfounded after the antenna picked up the signals of particles that seemed technically impossible as they seemed to be floating. The experiment made use of a balloon to identify radio waves that seemed to be originating from beneath the ice. The strange particles observed in this area are called neutrinos. They're particles that differ in that they're not easy to detect by ordinary matter. They're capable of passing through all forms of matter. Our stars, sun, and maybe the Big Bang that birthed our universe has caused neutrinos to pass through us constantly. This means that these borders produce our world's neutrinos. Other forms of neutrinos could result from sources such as black holes, pulsars, and supernovas. It may also be produced by certain objects that we're yet to discover. We think that neutrinos are produced in large numbers whenever a Big Bang happens. Neutrinos have been compared to the cosmic background radiation that may be responsible for the Big Bang, in the sense that it produces low kinetic energy, which may be a consequence of the universe's expansion. Currently, what we have now is like a free-floating gas of neutrinos, which is just a rough equivalent of all the visible stars in the universe. We hope you're enjoying this video. What are the odds of a parallel universe existing right alongside ours? Make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be notified about our future videos. At the point of discovery, scientists observed that there was no astrophysical point source. The conclusion arose from the fact that the neutrinos found were of high energy, and they appeared to be moving upwards through the Earth. Yet there was no obvious source that could have been producing the particles observed by ANITA. You'd think that neutrinos could only be coming from outer space. They're often detected when they pass by Earth. The case is different here as they seem to be coming out of the Earth. It's not like it's being emitted from beneath the Earth's surface. Arguably, the neutrinos could be time reversed, and thus the explanations were few and far between. There could either be three plausible explanations for this event to be realistic. The first is that an astrophysical source might be undetected, or maybe the ANITA detector is flawed in its design, or perhaps we're on the verge of a remarkable breakthrough. What do you think? So that's all the time we have today, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to remain updated about our future videos. See you all next time.